Hello everyone. So few months ago, I made this video about an interview question which was asked to me during the interview of MMT, and it was a good video. It was explaining the question really well. I had a working solution, but now when I go through that solution, I used a lot of use effects. The code was messy, and the flow was not there. So I thought of making that video again with a new code and the better understanding of React. But the question was, so there are four grids on the center of the screen, and there's a text in between representing the grid, and which has the original color as red. And once you click on it, the color will change to blue, right? And once everything is clicked, it will come to back. It will come back to its original position, its original color in the reverse order. So if you see, I click on 4, 3, 2, 1. Now it will go to 1, 2, 3, 2, 4. So there are three parts to this question. First one is the UI, where we have to create four boxes or grid, add a little bit of CSS to make them in center and make their text in center. Second, those boxes are clickable. So once you click on them, it has to change the color. And once all of them are clicked, the third part is to bring them in their original position in a reverse order. So let's start with the first part. Create four boxes. Let's call them maybe A, B, C, D, or 1, 2, 3, 4, whatever is easier for you. Let's see how it looks. Okay, so this is 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's add a little bit of CSS to this. Let's give it a width of maybe 100 pixel, height of 100 pixel. Give it a border. Let's give original color as maybe red. Okay, it looks good. Let's add a flex to this since it has to be in the row. Let's justify it in the center. Let's see how it looks. We can give it a little bit of space. Let's use the space evenly and see how it looks. Okay, it looks much better. We can give it a little bit of margin from top, maybe 20%. Let's see how it looks. Okay, this looks fine to me. Now we have to align this text also in the center. So I think this is horizontally it's aligned. Let's see how can we align it vertically. Uh, since it's fixed, we can give as a like height as 50% also, or we can use display, give it as column, flex direction as column, and align it centrally. Let's see if this works out for us. In that case, we have to make it as a span. Let me format it with prettier. This is an extension which you can also install through the extensions in VS Code. Let's give justify content center and let's see align items. Okay, this looks perfect. Now our goal is to make them clickable and change the color to blue when you click on them. Let's add a handle click on this. We can pass box in the argument. The box is a string. So now we have to do one more change. Every time it is clicked, we have to store it somewhere so that we can know that it's been clicked. Let's create a state called order. Initially it will be empty and this has to be a string of array. Let's see if it works. Now if order dot includes that particular box, let's change the color to blue. Okay, let's see if it works. We have our click handler here, event handler here, we are handling it everything. This looks fine. Let me click on it. This looks really nice. Let me log the orders once and see if it's in the order of which it is being clicked. Okay, let's refresh it. 1, 3, 4. Okay, so we are. But another issue is even though it's already clicked, we are still able to click it. So that should not happen. Let's put this condition over here. If order already already have that box, let's return it and do nothing. Right? Okay, so this looks fine. Now what we have to do is once all the elements are clicked, we have to somehow bring them into the original position. And every box will come into that original position with the interval of 1 second. Right? Now for that, the condition which we can have over here is if order dot length is equal to the boxes dot length. If this happens, we have to start something, right? We have to bring back them in the original position. So there are two ways. Like it is quite evident that we have to use set interval because we have to keep running it, keep doing this operation until it all the boxes come to the original position. So how can we do it? If you go through my previous videos, I have used a lot of use effect but which is not a right way. If you go through new React documentation, they'll tell that use effect is just to, inject side effects in the React component. This is not to be used when the state is changed and everything, right? Because it will cause unnecessary render and everything. Maybe I'll make a separate video about it in the future, but let let's figure out the other way to do it, right? Do something. This is one way. What we can do is we can check this condition over here. If order dot length equal to boxes dot length, let's create an interval uh, with a maybe 1,000 milliseconds, that is 1 second. And after every millisecond, let's remove the box from the end from the order state, right? So whatever was the clicked last should be removed first, right? So let's do that. So what we can do over here is new order. Let's move the last item. We can order dot slice -1 and return new order. Right. Let's try this if this works out. Okay, I think there's something wrong with this code. Okay, order dot slice -1 will return the last element. And I think we have to make it 0 to -1. We have to return all the elements except last. And we have to add one more. We have to have a reference to this interval. So once the order is 0, we have to clear it, right? So let's create one variable outside this function. So every time it renders, it doesn't initialize. We can give it as a, there's one way you can create it outside the function, or you can also use a use ref. For me over here, it's doing the same thing, so it doesn't make much sense to me to use a use ref. Right. So whenever this is null, we have to check this one condition. If this is null, we have to do this, and let's store this reference to this interval. So once everything is done, we can clear it out. Right. Let's try this. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. There's to be something wrong with this code. Oh, I think everything is triggering twice. Let's see why it's happening. Let me just log it here. How many times this is triggering? Let's see that. Okay, the interval, this logic has been triggering twice, and this interval is null. Okay, so this null interval is inside this function. Let's push it outside. Okay, let's give it as null or number, because usually this will always return a unique ID, which is a number. So let's see it again. This works fine or not. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now this is going on, so we have to stop this. If order dot length is equal to 0, all the elements, all the boxes are have come into their original position. But initially is also order dot length is equal to 0, so we have to check one more condition where interval is not equal to null. So over here we have to do three things. I think two things. First, clear the interval, reassign it to null, and I think this will work out. Let me do this. Okay, this works fine. Let's do 4, 2, 3, 1. So it should be 1, 3, 2, 4. Yeah, this is working fine. Let me go through the code once again. Let me just format it once more. I think I have to change the settings to formatted on save. Okay, let's go through the code once. So we broke down this thing in three parts. First the UI, second handling the click, third was reversing the order, right? So the UI was straightforward. We created four boxes, sorry. Right. Since we did not want to render on the basis of the boxes, so it did make much sense to me to keep it in the state, but it won't make any difference. Since we are never gonna set it, so and we are not rendering on the basis of the change of boxes, so it did not make sense to me to store it in the state, right? So it's a basic UI. I think I am assuming that everyone is comfortable with Flexbox. If you are not, just go through it. It's a very straightforward CSS property and it's really easy. So first we are creating a box for mapping through this, right? We want to make it center and I've evenly spaced them. Then centrally align the text as well. So for that also I use the display flex, right? And the second logic is on click. On click we are adding it to the state which is maintaining our order of click, right? So order is that state. And if it's already there in the order, we are just returning it. We are not doing anything, right? Okay, once everything is clicked, we are checking out over here. Once everything is clicked, and we have a one more variable to store the reference of the site interval. So once everything is clicked, on the interval of 1 second, we have to reverse the order, right? So this is what we are doing it over here. Every 1 second, we are removing the last element from the order state and we are updating that state. Now, once everything is in the normal original position, we have to clear that interval. So this is what we are doing over here. And there's one more caveat. If you don't use updater function to update the order, let me just show it to you. If you do, let me just copy paste this logic, right? This will never work. Let me show it to you again. Let me even log it to you. Let me even log console.mu. It's always a 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3 because the value of order will always be 1, 2, 3, 4. That is because of the closure. So when the time when this interval, this function was created, the value of order was 1, 2, 3, 4. So due to closure, every time the value will be 1, 2, 3, 4 because this function was closed over the order value, the initial order value, which was 1, 2, 3, 4, right? So, but when we use this helper function, React makes sure that we always get the updated value. So that's why it works with the helper function. Right? And I think in most of the cases, it's good to use this updater function rather than doing it the other way. Okay. Thank you all. This was the video. Let me know if there is anything which was not clear to you or which I need to explain again. And the feedbacks are really appreciated. Thank you so much.